welcome back to my Let's Play of Her Story. We've technically kind of completed everything to the point I think is fine enough. However, for those of you who want completionist run through, want to see everything, we're going to get the rest of the videos that I have yet to find yet. Looking at our database checker, yeah, we have a few missing, so in the case of time, I've decided to look up all of the search terms that will find a video in this game. So I can just type in the ones that I don't think I've done yet, and we'll find all the rest of them. I don't know if this will be one video or two or whatever. We'll just figure it out based on how much time it takes to do all this. But I am going to finish it up all over. I'm going to finish all of it. Yeah. Of course, we have to talk to her about her arrest.
Like I said, I think I was popping out to get something, ran out of something, had to grab something. I sometimes drive too fast. If you want, you can arrest me for that.
I think we will. Also, I'm not going to add in the session because I've decided to ditch the idea of putting all of these in order and playing them all. It would just take way too much time, and I don't think it would be useful to anyone. So, there you
go. Can I leave? Are you going to arrest me? No. They'd laugh you out of the building. A lawyer would make mincemeat of you.
Okay, she seemed to have had quite enough of that. This was on... Have we ever seen a clip where she looked like that? I think it's from... Is it from these days? No, this is a completely different date. Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen anything from that day before. Interesting. Yeah, at that point, I don't think they had much of a case against her, really.
This is a nice room. Is this where you take people when it's time to arrest them?
Yeah, see, as we said, going from... That was just the matter of a day. The difference between these two was just a day. So I guess they found something within that day to get her.
Yes. No lawyer. What are you going to arrest me for?
That's a good question. I wonder what they could arrest you for when they were talking to you about a murder.
Can you arrest someone who doesn't exist?
Aha, see? Okay. That could potentially be buying into the multiple personality sort of thing. However, that could also maybe be alluding to the idea that she doesn't really have her own life. But I don't know. I can't believe I never searched for attic the entire time. They always talk about her living in the attic, and I never once searched for it.
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
That's completely understandable. I mean, your parents kind of, died and such, so probably wasn't a comfortable thing.
Yes. I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories.
See, I think at this point, they still didn't know about Eve, but she's kind of saying we. I don't know if that's just a kind of a slip on her end of forgetting, hey, I'm not supposed to be mentioning that there was multiple of us in the house. Bags, huh? Well, oh, that's right, because they found Simon's body in all those bags in the basement.
When will the police let me back in the house? They let me take a bag of clothes with me, but...
and she completely was not referencing that at that point. So great.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
Yeah, that one's a little bit weird. That's it seemed kind of like she was just reading from a laundry list of things that she needed to mention and not really naturally recollecting the events that happened, because people don't really talk like that when they're telling you what their step-by-step process was going through a house or whatever. They don't. She sounded like she's reading off a laundry list and not actually naturally remembering what happened.
In the bedroom?
Okay. That must have been around the time where they were asking her about her sex life.
That can't be right. In the bedroom?
These were like right after each other? Yeah, they were like 2 minutes apart from each other. What was very bizarre. Well, what was in the bedroom? What are you talking about? I don't know. Oh my goodness, but birthday seems to come up with a lot of things. I don't recall. Did they ever mention the birthday a lot in any of the clips I've found so far?
Yes, that's my birthday. Not one of the big ones, but I guess you can see that.
I guess I technically did. She mentioned when her birthday was and when Simon's was, I think.
It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
Oh, okay, I guess you didn't. Sure, why not?
No. Well, yes. He found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant.
Yeah, that's right. She was keeping it from Simon for...
From when I woke up. Okay. I woke up. Simon was already up and he made me birthday breakfast of eggs Benedict. We both had to go to work, so we saved presents till later. I got to work, had some birthday cake, children sang me happy birthday. Then I came home. The birthday meal was a takeaway, and Simon gave me his present, which I didn't mind. And after that, we talked about the baby. It turned into a big argument. Simon left. I was furious. I wanted to get as far away as I could and get some space to think. So I left.
Well, that was weird. The video kind of froze there. Yeah, so apparently, yeah, that's right. I don't think she was wanting to keep the baby, but Simon was, because he wanted kids, but she wasn't supposed to be able to get pregnant, so...
A week or so ago. It would have been the Saturday before my birthday. You know, I get like that on the weekends, have a lie-in, then want to get up and blitz the house.
Yeah, so, however, as I said before, I believe my whole thought process on why she killed him was because he was having an affair with Eve, and she found out about it and killed him. And I think they were using the excuse of them arguing about the baby and then him leaving because of that as like the cover up.
Okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records?
Why would they need to take that? Why would they need to know that? I'm confused about that question, lady.
Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
I'm sure it was.
Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood. He was dead.
Yeah, so this is Eve talking, so I think that kind of buys in more to it. It seems like the two, Eve and Hannah, the two of them don't share memories, because they had to keep their journal to keep their story straight, so that each of them knew what happened to the other one. But that goes back to my theory that Hannah was the one who killed him, and Eve helped cover it up.
She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock.
Yeah. That's disturbing. She must have put the wig on to see if he was really... She must have put the wig on to see if he was really cheating on her with Eve or not. Of course, I don't know. I think he did know that they were two different people.
Bruce? Oh, yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face. It hurt like hell.
That seemed completely natural. No, it didn't. That seems like a lie.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body.
Okay, this one, I think a big thing on this game could be figuring out which day is which person if being interviewed. I think this day is Eve because I've pretty much just got in my mind that this day was Hannah, and she's got the bruise on her left side. And this day, she doesn't have the bruise at all, even though it was only 2 days apart, and she felt the wrong side of her face regarding showing where the bruise was, so she didn't know. She couldn't remember what side of the face the bruise was on. So yeah, I think they switched places that day. However, wait a minute. That goes against my multiple personality disorder theory, because if the bruise went away when it wasn't supposed to, that means they actually are two different people. Okay, I don't know what to think, guys.
No, they were shut. Most of the windows were really hard to open anyway. They're stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door.
Oh yes, that's the best way for a robber to get into your house is a cat flap. I actually have no idea, guys. So maybe one of you knows.
I wasn't in the house all of Friday night. After the argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away. So I took the car.
She sure did, and she drove to Glasgow, which I'm still not sure of exactly how long that distance is to drive. However, I have had someone comment on one of my videos that a drive from where they live to Glasgow is apparently not incredibly feasible to go there and back in one day. So.
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. And when I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And excuse me. Is there a bin?
Oh, crap. Okay. I wonder. Is that a little bit of morning sickness, but... Okay, wait. So... I got it in my head right now that the red shirt, this red jacket day was Eve. And she was showing signs of morning sickness, so was she the one that got pregnant, and that's why Hannah was so pissed off?
Yeah. I pulled over and slept in the car. This was just by the side of the road. I was exhausted.
See, just when I think like I've got enough mentally figured out about this, there's just more crap. There's just not crap, but more things that come up. It's very interesting.
Do you have children?
Oh, sure. That was great. that was a great thing. This is probably referring to Rapunzel.
I think so. I mean, to get into our garden, we'd have to climb through other gardens. All the gardens back onto each other, so you'd have to climb over 1, 2, 3 gardens to get to ours. I mean, did anyone see anything? Did anyone see anyone come and go? An intruder?
Probably not, given what happened. And that's why they're asking you. However, yeah, it's really interesting how kind of houses are arranged in Great Britain as compared to the U.S. I'm used to the U.S. I'm used to rural areas where everyone's houses could be miles apart from each other with nobody else around. So having houses that are so stacked on top of each other that all of their backyards make one giant backyard is very foreign to me.
Well, she has a knife. She's been cooking, I guess. She's been cooking him his favourite meal. She's his wife. And he's asleep and she doesn't want to wake him because he's ill. That's why she's sad. Because he's ill and he might die. It's kind of a sad story, so I'm not sure how it ends.
I think she might have been intentionally misreading what that story was about to make herself not look crazy, which is what we're searching for right now. Because it was probably more of a picture of a woman murdering the guy. Maybe that says something about my own psyche. if that's what I'm immediately think that picture would have to be about.
I mean, what if they were crazy? You hear about these crazy people all the time. I mean, why would anyone who knew Simon want to kill him?
Yeah, only crazy person would do that.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Uh-huh. Okay, for once I'm actually believing this story. So Hannah accidentally killed Simon because he hit her for pretending to be Eve. Maybe because she wasn't Eve. See, the thing is, like, apparently Hannah had easy access to Eve's wig and her clothes, but at this point they said that they were actually living in separate houses and had separate lives completely. So why would she have that easy of access to her clothes and wig? Because the way she talked about it, they were just there at the house to get. So that just leads more into the idea that they're both the same person, to me.
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
Okay, so the plot thickens on her parents dying as well. Apparently her dad died. They thought that her dad died eating a mushroom that he knew was poisonous, obviously. So I wonder, did she kill them too?
That's all that matters, really. The baby. Simon's dead, but the baby, that's how he will live on. Our baby.
Is it?
Rehearsed? You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer. Is that your evidence? Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
No, that's kind of the same reading I got from what they were doing. Where I said earlier, it sounded like she was reading a laundry list of things that she did. It just sounds like she planned it.
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I'd slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. He used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognise them. And there's no way you would pick death caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
did they not? Was she? No, she seemed kind of shocked that they were sick and dead. So, I don't think she had anything to do with it. However, I still believe that foul play. There's been foul play here, everyone. Duel house. The duel house. Full of duels.
The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon the week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there.
I wonder if so at that point was she still living in the attic with them? That would have been really bizarre. Yeah, I figured I'd looked at Doug, but I'm just going through all the words here, people. I gotta get all these things looked at. Yeah, some of these I'm fairly certain of. Well, of course I've looked at. I've typed some of these before. I think I've looked for Eleanor. If I spell it right, step 1 spelling. Yeah, okay. Eliminate. This could be interesting.
Okay. So you want to eliminate me as a suspect?
Don't believe him, that's a lie.
That should eliminate me as a suspect. If I was in Glasgow, can't be in 2 places at once.
Well, Data Game, stop doing this. Stop giving evidence for both things to be true. You're such a jerk. Why would you do that? Always going back and forth between, oh, well, here's a clip that shows that they obviously have to be the same person. They're just crazy. They're just crazy pants. But then you give me other ones where they're like, oh, I was in 2 places at once. Wink, wink. Like, yeah.
Fine. I've never had my fingerprints taken before. I once put my hand on the oven.
I wonder how... I think depending on how bad that burn would be, like if you get a bad burn on your fingertips, does that completely eliminate your fingerprints? Because I know you have to, like, if you cut off your fingerprints, you have to keep cutting them off every time the skin regrows. But if you get scar tissue on your fingers, that just completely ruins it, right?
Fingerprints?
And do identical twins don't have the same fingerprints, right? Am I wrong or right there? I can't remember.
Yes. Yeah. I would have cleaned them. I changed the sheets too. With the fingerprints in all those places.
At our parents' house or where?
Could they have been my parents' fingerprints? I'm not sure how long they last for, but is that possible?
Oh, they must have, I wonder if these are where her and Simon had moved out to get their own place, but Eve was still living at the parents' house? Is that... maybe that was it?
Really? Go on then. Take the cup. Run your fingerprints. They'll match. Fucking do it.
She's incredibly hostile that day. That's incredibly hostile. But there's not very many clips of them, apparently. Or at least the words that I searched for just so happened to not ever find them. Friend.
Simon's parents offered to put me up, but I didn't think it would be a good idea. It would be too sad. Not right now. I'm staying at a friend's.
Which friend is that? Who could it be? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've searched for Glasgow before, but we'll type it in just in case. Yeah. I'm actually recording this long after I recorded the original videos. So I'm not going to go completely off of my memory of things that I searched and did not search for. I was pretty certain I searched for glazier, though, being my favorite word ever. But yeah, all of my recordings before these set were like at least a month ago. I recorded them.
No, it's okay. The other detective has just gone to get me one.
Okay, thanks for that clip.
My sister is gone. And she's never coming back.
Okay, see, that goes back to the tap code video, or the not code video, whichever, where she was saying bye, Hannah. I guess that meant that Hannah was gone for realsies. For realsies this time.
Sure. Yes, of course, if that would help. Will you phone the house to let me know when you want to come round? Then I can make sure that I'm there.
I'm not quite sure that's how it works. I'm pretty sure they like to spring the surprise on you, but maybe not.
He has a wallet, a huge, silly thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back. Offsets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before, when he comes in, if he's in the house.
Yeah, I have actually heard something like that where, if you get one of the wallets that are like inches thick, it actually screws up your back sitting on it a lot. I'm not sure if that's true or not.
And the hotel said he was there?
That's shocking because I know he's dead, so obviously that wouldn't be true. Anyway.
I haven't been into work. I guess I've just been waiting to hear from you, hear from my husband.
No, you haven't, you liar.
When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
Oh, what's the time difference between this? Just a few minutes?
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine.
Was her... Oh, I'm confused by these stories that she's telling. Oh my god, what the hell? So I wonder... Actually, some of those pictures she was looking at were like actual fairy tales that she knew. So I wonder if they're all from some kind of fairy tale, or... I don't know.
Can you imagine? I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now? I felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
I'm not sure that's how that actually works. Like, I know women's menstrual cycles will sync up, but I don't think if one of them stops having one, the other one will stop having one. I'm fairly certain that's not how that works. So, See, that's just what I'm saying, where it keeps going back and forth between saying they're the same person and they're not.
I can take this stuff off now. Did I prove I'm innocent?
I wonder if they know at this point that she's Eve and not Hannah. Not sure about that. The next thing to search for is not code, but I know I've searched for that, so not going to look for that again.
Yes, I understand my rights. No, I don't need a lawyer.
That's not a wise move, everyone. I'm paranoid. I'm going to search for not code anyway. Okay. If you were ever at the police station, even if you're innocent, never talk to them unless you have a lawyer. Never, ever, ever. Don't do it. Don't listen to them when they say, "Oh, I'm your friend." They are not your friend. They are there to arrest you and make you look guilty. So, never talk to the cops without a lawyer.
Yes, I'll take a lie detector test.
Yeah, good. That's my PSA for the day, everyone. Just for you.
I've never taken a lie detector test before. Does it really work?
Not really. In fact, I don't think police stations even use them anymore.
My name. That was the only question I failed. The lie detector works.
Oh, that's right. That we saw a clip like way back when I first started playing where she said her name was Hannah, and then she was like, "Oh shoot, I screwed up." So yeah, obviously that was a lie. That's pretty funny. See, at that point, she's kind of got resignation going on, and she just kind of was like, "Oh, whatever, haha, we'll play along with the cops, whatever."
Yeah, I had to let myself in. The door locks if it swings too.
What? Huh.
Yes, I always pull it shut and then lock the bigger lock with the key.
But I think she said another day that it wasn't locked because the key wouldn't turn, right? So, I don't know. Oh, I never searched for love. How could I not search for love? That's what everyone wants to search for.
Thanks. Please find Simon. I love him so much.
Now I know why I didn't search for it, because it's useless.
No. I mean, everyone loves Simon. He was so nice to everyone. He loves me.
He was a little bit too nice to some people. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
Cute. You must love them very much. What ages are they?
Ah, she's gonna know the detectives.
Yes, I'm fine. I won't be sick again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant. It's morning sickness.
Ah, see, yeah, I think she was being truthful there, but this is Eve, not Hannah, at this point, so...
It was late. Early Saturday morning.
And see, if she got pregnant and then Hannah wasn't pregnant because of whatever reason, they said last time when Hannah got pregnant, it caused like a separation between the two, to where they weren't like together like they used to be. So I wonder if this second pregnancy was enough to like be the reason why Hannah's gone now. Perhaps.